How you going, guys? Daniel from Livn Colour here with my main man Chris Jackson from Chris Jackson Coaching, Australia's leading peak performance coach. Tell us a bit about yourself, Chris. Thanks for coming today.
Thanks for having me, Daniel. It's awesome to be here to share more about my story about how I help people. So, yeah, I didn't always used to be a peak performance coach. I actually used to be an engineer, and I used to be in the mining industry. And like many people, it's a good job, it's high paying, but it had a shelf life. And I quickly realised well, it wasn't really that quickly. It was probably about after 10 years after being in a job that I didn't particularly resonate with. I kind of had a sense in my heart that there was something more for me the whole time. So rocking up at a job, it gets to, the weekend finishes, and then I go, oh, shit, I'm allowed to swear.
Yeah. Swear all you like, mate. It's all good.
I was like, shit, I've just rocked up and getting back to my job on a Monday morning after a weekend, just really not really looking forward to my work. Anyway, so there was a little voice inside me that said that I was supposed to do something more in this life. There was something that was meaningful. There was something more in my life. Anyway, I ignored that voice for the best part of 10 years until I eventually discovered the world of personal development. I discovered seminars and lots of training courses and reading all these sorts of books like this, going to see Tony Robbins and all these sorts of thought leaders. And then I eventually started to believe in myself, and I started to believe what was possible for my life. And I eventually started studying coaching. And I had a punt on coaching. I had no idea what I wanted to do, but I knew I had to do something. I knew that if I was turning up to a job that I didn't particularly resonate with, I knew that was going to run its course. I knew if I didn't do something, then I was going to have a hell of a load of regret when I got to my deathbed. So that was niggling away at me for the best part of 10 years. And then I eventually started studying coaching, and that's when I had that big aha moment. That's when I recognized that we can actually do whatever the hell we want with life and get paid for it and follow our passion. And I had so many aha moments at my first training course. And I then started learning all the skills and the tools in order to start getting into coaching. And then quite quickly I recognized that I could not only replace my income from my old job, but anything more than I could have ever dreamed was possible. So that whole journey has been just about 3 years now, to be honest. It's been 3 years since quitting my engineering job and then starting my business. And it's been the most incredible thing I've ever done in my life.
I could imagine, mate. And this little voice in your head you're talking about, was it like a progressive thing, or was it just you woke up one day and it sort of smacked you in the face, this realisation?
Yeah, it gets louder and louder.
Louder and louder,
yeah. So it starts with this little niggling, maybe you could do something else. And, I think most people have experienced this. Most people have been in a job where you kind of know it's not really what you need to do. I think a lot of people recognise how precious life is, and they recognise that we're not here for a hell of a lot of time. Most people, look, we might get 100 years in life. And I think a lot of people, they recognise that it is precious and it is important, but a lot of people don't actually do anything about it. So I was in that boat where I became complacent. I was like, I'll figure it out someday, one day.
Or it's going to fall on my lap or whatever.
Yeah, but I wasn't actually doing anything about actually finding it. I was just kind of complaining and whinging. And to get to Monday and I'd be like, I'm going to this job again, but I didn't actually do anything about it. So, look, I think a lot of people have that voice in their head. It's just a matter of whether people actually listen to that voice and listen to the calling that's. I think everyone's got a calling within them. Everyone has something something special that they're here to do in life. And look, you can check out of that voice. You can tune into Netflix, or you can just distract yourself, or tune into alcohol. I did that. I just went out getting drunk. I went out doing all sorts of things, other than actually dealing with finding, well, what is it that I'm here to do. So yeah, I think that voice, it's inside of us, and it gets louder and louder and louder. The more you ignore it, the louder it gets until it becomes unbearable. And that's when it became unbearable for me, was I recognised, shit, I was 30 years old. It's like I'm pretty much nearly a third of the way through my life. I've got to change something else. I'm going to be staring down the barrel with a whole lot of regret.
So how about the people out there who never take action on that voice and continue down that track of blaming the universe or blaming others, or just not listening to that voice? And obviously there's a lot of people out there, I would imagine, from what you're saying, like that. What would you say to them? Like, what's something that you just want to direct right at them?
Look, we get one crack at life. We get one chance to make this count. We get one chance to make this the greatest love story ever told, the most incredible adventure that we've ever experienced. And I think the go-to for me is this, what I share with all my clients and everyone that I work with, is the finiteness of life and just how brief an opportunity we get to make an impact in this life. I think that's one of the most powerful drivers of recognising we don't have long. We really don't. Like we're all going to, as morbid as it sounds, we're all going to be dead.
We're all going to be going the same way.
We're all going to be dead at some point in our life, and we're all going to be looking back on our deathbed. And I think that we never want to get to that moment in life where we know that we could have done more. We could have followed our heart. And again, I think one of the biggest things is people having the courage to follow their heart. People having the courage and the willingness to care so much about their life that they're going to deal with the fears that come up, to deal with the insecurities, deal with the doubts, and push through even though they know it's going to be challenging, but to push through either way because they know that this life, there's nothing more important than us following our heart, us actually pursuing and doing something that's meaningful for us.
One chance, because you can ask people that question. If you found out you're going to die tomorrow, would you live this day differently? And everybody's answer. It's obviously yes. I would live it differently. All the stuff that people worried about, all the menial problems, all the little stuff, it would all just flush away. It no longer means anything anymore. But then I guess it's too late then. For some. So, but like I said, great story, positive. Like I said, we need to spread the positivity. Chris Jackson Coaching. Can you go into a little bit about what that is and how you help people and whatnot?
Yeah, thanks, Dan. So what I'm really passionate about is helping people recognise that we all have a unique ability, we all have a unique talent. We all have something within us that is what I call our vocational calling. It's the thing that we're born to do. And I help people identify, well, first of all, what is that? Because we all do have that. We're not all given the same gifts. We all have our unique talents and abilities. So I help people lean into that and really celebrate that, and then help them identify how they can create a business in that, doing what they love, doing what they're passionate about, doing what they're born to do, and grow and scale a successful business doing what they love. So that's what I'm incredibly passionate about. Is I believe that exists for everyone. Not everyone decides to take that journey.
That's right.
It's a bloody hard journey to create a business and to be an entrepreneur doing what you love. But for those people that are willing to take that journey, I work with them to transform their thinking, to transform their belief systems, to transform a whole entire mindset around creating success in business, because business is bloody hard. And to not have all of your beliefs and not have your values, not have your mindset aligned, it's just doomed to fail, because you can have the right strategy, but if you haven't got the right mindset, you're never going to get any done. You're never going to be able to execute the strategy. So it's really helping people to uncover all of those limiting beliefs, all those mental blocks, and transform their thinking and their mindset to then give them the right strategies of business growth and business tactics as well to bring that all together. So that's who I work with. I'm incredibly passionate about working with people that really recognise, again, the preciousness and the value of how much we have to bring, and just the small gifts that sometimes we take for granted, but recognising when we give that gift to other people, that's the highest degree of fulfillment that we're going to experience. When we share that gift with someone else, that's the ultimate. And a lot of people don't actually recognise how much value they've got to give. So it's also helping people recognise that value and helping them have enough self-worth that they actually step into creating that life that's their waiting for.
And is this a lot of these techniques come from NLP? You're an NLP trainer, is that correct? Or?
Yeah. So I'm a trainer of NLP and timeline therapy, and there's so many powerful tools of the mind that have been consolidated and refined in the field of NLP. And I mean, there's so many from the whole field of personal development. But certainly NLP has some of the most powerful tools that I've come across. And I've studied a lot of different thought leaders, and I've obviously been mentored by guys like Tony Robbins and done a lot of personal development. And there's so many powerful tools available that people have no idea they even exist. Like, for example, there's tools in NLP where you can help someone get rid of a phobia in less than 5 minutes.
So I've seen them on your seminar.
And it's just such a simple little trick. And yet people live with a phobia their whole entire life, not knowing that they can get rid of it. So that's the thing with NLP. It gives us the tools of the mind. It gives us the strategy for how we think, how we actually create our reality, so we can create a different reality and get better results. So it really is. It's the science of success. Yeah.
Excellent, mate. I love it. All right. Now, obviously, earlier in the interview, you were telling a bit of your backstory about how you went from an engineer into this sort of entrepreneurial role as a peak performance coach. What was that transition like for you? I mean, obviously that's a big step for someone to sort of step out of their 9-to-5 job and, wander into this unknown territory. That's, the massive, fear that stops people from making these moves in their life. What was that like for you? Like, what was the turning point? What were the emotions you were experiencing? Tell me a bit about that, man. How did you overcome that fear?
Oh, fear is it plays a huge part. And for me, I experienced that firsthand. Particularly when you're entering something new that's unfamiliar. We can tend to label it as being difficult or hard, whereas actually it's simply we haven't experienced this before.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people, when they're approaching something new, when they're striving to create their dreams, and I was certainly related to this, was how the hell am I going to do this? Didn't actually know how I was going to do it, didn't know, how am I going to be successful at this? There's so much doubt and insecurity and fear that comes up. So look, I had people in my environment that were saying, Chris, you've got a great job in engineering. Why do you want to risk it all by going and starting this business? And, you've studied it. You've got a 4-year engineering degree. Why do you want to go and you should be happy with what you've got? And so there's a lot of people that were saying that to try and protect me.
Protect you, yeah. But they don't really understand deep down what you're going through. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So this is the thing: when you believe in yourself, and you know that that you can create your dream in your life. There's going to be a lot of people there that are the naysayers. There's going to be people that either want to protect you or they want to hold you back. Because they don't want to acknowledge or confront the fact that maybe they wish they could have gone. Yeah. So look, you find there's some very well-meaning and loving people which will hold you back because they either don't want you to grow and expand or move away or disconnect from it. So for me, that was a really challenging part, was not really having a really huge support network. At the time, it was just a small support network.
Well, with a small support network, was that more from your family, your friends, your colleagues? Where did the positivity come from?
It was really from the community that I was part of at the time. So it was part of the group of coaches that I was connected with in Perth. It was really connecting up with those guys, and that's where we got inspiration. That's where we could collaborate. That's where we had people sharing ideas and inspiration. From my family, there wasn't a hell of a lot of support because they kind of didn't even know what I did. They didn't understand it. Most of my friends as well, they didn't really understand what coaching was or what I was doing. Or Chris is starting some kind of business, doing something. We didn't really know what he does. And again, all loving people and caring people, they don't really understand it. They don't know what you're going through. So they're not able to be there and support you. So I think that was a turning point when I started to surround myself with really positive people, as well as people that people are ahead of the journey. Some people that were maybe 2, 3, 5 years, 10 years ahead on the journey. And I could see what they were doing. I could see the success. I could see what was unfolding. And so that gave me the trust and that gave me the confidence to know, awesome, if I stick with it, and if I keep surrounding myself with these people and keep learning and developing myself and growing and pushing past my fears, I know that's there waiting for me. So that's kind of what got me through it, was looking at my mentors and all the people that were ahead of me and seeing, I can actually do that as well. So
massively important.
Yeah, so huge, so important to have people that are ahead of the journey and people that are going through the same experience to bounce ideas off and to support each other.
So everybody on that same level, hyping each other up. And like you said, the people that were 2, 3 steps ahead, you're probably thinking, if they can do it, why can't I do it? Simple as that.
Well, absolutely. Absolutely. That's so important to have people that are ahead or people at the same level to talk about these things. Fears, limiting beliefs, all the constraints that people are facing. Everyone's going through the same thing. And when you have a community of people around you, 2 heads are better than one. You can come up with ideas and you've got inspiration. And just for people to share what you're experiencing with as well is so important.
Love it. All right, excellent. So you've got a upcoming NLP masterclass event on August 18th. Is that correct? You want to tell me a bit about that?
Yeah. So what I've done is, I run training courses on NLP. So there's a level 1 is a 5-day training course. Level 2 is a 12-day training course. To study to be an NLP trainer, it's an 18-day course. So there's close to nearly 40 or 50 odd days worth of training to sort of to learn this whole craft of NLP. And what I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to obviously introduce people to these concepts and these tools so they can start to use them in their life. And what I'm wanting to do is bring the best of the best tools and bring them all together so that people start to get an idea of, obviously not learn everything within NLP, but start to understand the main ideas and the main principles so that people can start using them straight away and people can start applying them and have enough to know to find out more. Because when I started learning NLP, I didn't truly understand the power of it. You know, I kind of started out and read a book on NLP and I thought, well, this is okay. But it's only when you have an experience of it in a setting where you're actually sharing it, you're actually experimenting and doing activities around NLP, that's when the learnings stick and that's when the learnings go to a whole other level. So giving people a practical experience of what NLP is, how to use it, and applying it, and then seeing how do we apply it in our lives to get better results.
I love it. Well, I went to the last one and I had an awesome time, mate. Excellent presentation. All right, just want to say thanks for coming down for the interview. Appreciate you having a chat. And like I said, until next time, mate.
Yeah, thanks, Sandy. Thanks for having me.
No worries. Thanks everybody for watching. Follow us on Facebook and other social media platforms for more upcoming inspiration on how to live in colour. That's LIVN COLOUR. Try it out.
Good work.